Hi guys, it's Aegis here. So today I'm here with a Chronojet deck profile, and this time it will be a more budget graded upgrades. So it won't use a lot of expensive cards, and some of the stuff you probably can still change a little bit. But I'm trying to do it in a low budget because I don't have any of the brainwash, and since I'm not a Dark States main, even though I do play some premium Dark Irregulars, but I don't see myself actually paying that much money for that card. um, so I am choosing something that is a lot cheaper, and in the end, after I playtest with a little bit uh, before I upgrade to this version, I know the potential of the deck is already good enough without those expensive upgrades, but of course if you get those it will be way better. So without further ado, let's go into the deck content first. uh, First, what you need from your right line is basically the Chronojet uh, right line. So it's the stuff from the starter, Chronojet, uh, Mesa Gear, Smoke Gear, and then Chronojets. And from there you get your crest across the card that you make sure you do have it with you, because if you don't have one during a tournament you might get some trouble with it, because it is a card that require you when you ride on the Great One you actually get this. So if you don't have it, it's kind of like you don't have any extra force marker to use, then you probably might get some kind of warning and such, so do be careful about that. And what's good about this right line is, of course, it's the Chronojet right line, and we are playing Chronojet. And in order to strike, we actually need to go through the grade 1 and the grade 2. When you ride a grade 3 on top, you can actually stretch a grade 3 so you can immediately strike without any issue. And since you have your crest here, you can only use Chronojet, so that's your only Vanguard. And he doesn't have any personalized, so even if you rewriting, it won't help you anything but increasing a soul. And sometimes you do need that, because I did try to do it once, and well, sometimes you really need to do it if you need the extra soul. So yeah, so basically that's the right line and all the cards that you needed. The Great One is really very strong in my opinion, because you if you go first, you don't feel like going first because you get a draw. You go second, you draw an extra card, then going second, so that is kind of crazy. And let's quickly go over the G zone as well, because it's exactly what included in the deck, so I don't think we need to talk about too much on those, which is for next stage and for History Maker. The first strike will always be a History Maker, and it will flip you a card face up so you can immediately enjoy the front row at least plus 5k buff. That is already crazy, and when you feel like it, you will just go to the next stage and do your 2 Vanguard punches to basically finish your opponent's off. If your opponent has 3 or more damage, you probably would go for that. If they have 4, definitely go for it. If not, you can probably still stall with History Maker while you're still building up your power buff. And when they card guard it, or when you pull out a over trigger, that always gives yourself your Vanguard 10k and crit, you probably would just go for the next stage to do 2 crit punches for 2 times. Now, going to the main deck, 3 more Chronojet, because we need to strike into next stage. We need to kind of do an ultimate strike to strike with a card that is the same name with your Vanguard. So there it is. And as I said, you can always use it for extra soul if you want to, and your grade 1 will help you search 1, and your grade 2 can also help you search a grade 3, so you will have easy access to these cards. Of course, if you want to blink your deck, you can probably find the old ones, but since I'm not a actual Gear Chronicle player, so I don't have those. And then I'm running 3 of the Balif. It is a good card, because when you use it as a strike card, you get drawn back, and as long as you do some regard switch, the time stuff with your own regards, or you send your opponent's regards to the bottom of the deck, you can get 10k as much as GB2, which is quite easy because once you use History Maker skill, you already achieve GB2. So the 10k plus is so easy to get, but most likely use him as a strife order, so I can actually get drawn back and then do triple drive. And through there, because I always have my upstream, then I can always get to my GG to draw one. So draw one from GG, triple drive, that's 5 cards gained already, and that's really massive during a longer match, because I always end up with like 7 to 10 cards in hand, and that really helps me survive for a turn. And then I just need a little bit attackers to do the attacks while I buff with the crest, so it's just crazy. And then 2 of this Steam Fighter, at first I actually take all of my Steam Fighter out because I don't see the extra shield important while I am not having enough souls, but that's also at the situation that I don't have enough cards to do the soul charge, which I have made this Steam Mage, and I completely replaced this card with this, and then I start having enough soul, and then I do find a little bit more cards that you can use that can help you out, so I decided to actually put 2 copies back in, because a 50k shield is kind of still better if you have the choice, so don't need too much. 2 I think is enough, but this I do need 4 of. I don't care about the plus shield value skill because it's never going to happen, but you put him as a guardian, you put him as an intercept, he will just go into the soul, so basically help you to fill up your soul so you can use your GG to keep drawing cards. And speaking about GG, here we are with 3 of her. She is always the target that you can call with upstream, so you can get to draw a card for sure, and +5 if you call by card effects, which help you adjust the number a little bit more, because even with these guys you can still hit 23k, and then with the crest +5 being 28, 2 G zones will be 33, so the base number 200 is really great, and the drawing card is always saving us by a lot, so yeah. And then for the Stream Breath Dragon, because you can search it for Chronojet, you can use it as a strife order. Basically it helps you to get your engine going, that's all it does. And then 2 of this Gear Beast. I see a lot of people immediately take this card out, like replacing with Brainwash and for whatever cards that need it, but to me I think having a intercept at the back row that is not that easy to get targeted is still good, and it sometimes really save me games, so I'm still running 2, but 4 to me is 7 is too much, so I'm cutting 2 off for that. And then 2 Rain. So this card is from the Michiru trial deck or starter deck. That as long as you buy 1 you get 2, and that's why I have 2 in here. And this card is also helping you to do soul charge, because you can look at top 2, put 1 in soul, put 1 to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so basically help you to soul charge so that you can use your GG a lot easier with this card. So these basically are extra cards that are being used in other sets. So this is, as long as you buy a starter you will get 2 of these, so it's quite easy, and you get yourself extra triggers to switch around your trigger ratio with the Chronojet deck. And this one is only a double rare from DBT03, so I think you can get it very cheap. Yeah, and so far rest of the content is still from the Chronojet deck. And then 4 PGs because it's included. Then going to triggers, this is included, so no need to worry about that. And then this is probably what you will be wearing for 20k fronts, soaring crits, and then crits and heals from the deck itself. So extra parts is only these and this. So I think it's pretty affordable. Unless if you really like can't find these, you can still use the crits from both of the starters, including in there. So you will have like you have these ones, and then you buy the material starter. You should have another type of crit to put as a replacement of these, and you should have enough fronts. If not, the material starter should also give you the front trigger. So I think what you need to do is to buy 2 starters, 1 Chronojet, 1 material, and then find 4 of these, and then you get your basic stuff. And if you want a little bit more shield value, go for this. And Dark States one shouldn't be too expensive, but this one might cost you a little bit of trouble. So if you can't find it, it's still a 15k shield anyway. And what it benefits you is if you really have a lot of hands spare but you don't have soul, you can place it down to put in soul plus 2k or something. But that 2k doesn't matter that much, and if these cards is actually helping you to soul charge enough already, then you just turn these to normal critical triggers and you'll be all set. So the parts that you must need extra is these, and then you get 2 starters. And it is already like strong as you can't imagine, because I was using other triggers from the starter, including draws, that the 5k shield isn't helping me too much, and front sometimes really helps, because when your opponent is like facing a rewriting Chronojet here, that they can't use the PG to guard, and they might ask for 2 pass, if front already clears the problem. Because you don't need to think about what kind of power you want to add to, and then the next trigger, if it comes, it will penetrate. So yeah. So yeah, I mean that's have to say, after playing a few games with this stack, I think it's really worth your money if you are like going to try something more competitive and looking for a budget option. Because think about that, you play Youthberg, you buy so many triple rares, and then you buy some double rares, you're buying a starter, and this, to me, it cost me, I would say, less than 400 Hong Kong dollars, probably, because most of the content is just from the starter, and then these I bought them as a like nation split. And even if I am to find one of these, it's usually just 10 to 20 Hong Kong dollars each max, so it's like 1 to 2 US dollar probably. Maybe you can get it cheaper, and the only issues are these. And as I said, if you are like really not going to bother, you can just use the triggers inside the material and the Chronojet starter, and you're still all set. So it's pretty affordable, but the benefit it can give you is so much different. I have been playing against like all kinds of Stoichia decks that my friend used it, and a friend of mine used it against some lyrical kind of fun decks like a Panda, and it's just crazy. And I did use my Order Leonor to play against a deck that if I get to draw normally, I probably can do a 4-6 fight against it with me with 40%, so at 4. But it can't always happen, and my key attackers will always left on the field, and it will get sent to the bottom by Chronojets. That is the problem. With Sorger, your prison dragon will always go to the bottom, and you will be like fighting hard to find an next copy, and that really struggles. Magnolia, it depends. If they get to the stage that they can personalize, with the new grade one that also pump the personal power to the back row, attack you for 6 times, you probably will still lose. But during early stage, you get to like wipe out their attackers, so that's something. And then Soldier again is depending on Prison Dragon, and then Flagbird. I did have a little bit of hard time against Flagbird if they rush me so hard, but like once I get to stride, I use my body to draw, I use GG to draw, I get the triple drive, and as long as you have like upstream to do like little small pokes and then going to bigger and bigger, facing a Flagbird, because they don't have a lot of cards in hand most of the time, and you push them so hard, even like small punches, they still need to give you a lot of stuff. And you also get to send cards to the bottom of the deck to just basically ruin all the plans, and they hardly reform 5 attacks even if they do, as long as you get to guard for like all the small pokes, because I use cards like this that can just simply, if they without a personal ride and use inner pulse, you can just intercept and you get a soul. Next turn you can use for GG, right? And then you can just slightly block these, and now you start making your opponents to think which attack they want the Flagbird to be, 4, 5, or maybe 6 or whatever, depending on how they set up the plays. So it really fight against, like good against a lot of decks, and this deck is really annoying by being so cheap. So if you are again looking for a budget deck, you can definitely go for these. And if you really have like spare money, then you can get yourself some Brainwash, and then you can just probably replace these ones for Brainwash if you want to, and maybe replacing these with something else, up to you. But I'm going for a cheaper options, and so far I'm having fun, but my friends are not, so I'm not probably going to take this deck out like all the time, just time to time, and I still need to actually record some fights with it, so we'll see. If I get the chance to, I will do it and show you guys. Yeah, so that's basically for this deck profile. Feel free to let me know any questions you have, or if you look into other budget cards options, feel free to like discuss in the comments down below, and I will take a look and see if it's actually helping me, or do I actually have the card to try it out. Yeah, so thanks for watching guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.